Do you remember the girl who could stop time with just her fingers? Out of This World made her unforgettable. But when the show ended, everything changed. Some stars disappeared, some kept chasing fame, and some stories took unexpected turns. So where are they now in 2026? Number 1. Maureen Flannigan as Evie. Maureen Flannigan was just a teenager when she became Evie, a girl caught between two worlds, half human, half alien. She could stop time, fix mistakes, and live a life most kids could only imagine. But what made her special wasn't the powers, it was how real she felt. She made mistakes, she struggled, she tried to figure out who she really was, and audiences loved her for that. For 4 seasons, we watched her grow up right in front of us. It felt like this was just the beginning, but then things changed. After the show ended, Moren didn't chase fame the way many expected. She took a few roles, then slowly stepped back. The spotlight faded, but her story didn't end. She moved into writing, producing, and focused on causes that mattered to her. A quieter life, by choice. Today, in 2026, she still reconnects with fans, and for many, she will always be Evie. But her journey shows something important. Not every star wants to stay in the spotlight. Number 2. Donna Pesco as Donna. Before the show even began, Donna already had experience. But as Donna, she became something more. A mother, protecting a secret no one could know. Raising a daughter who wasn't like anyone else. She wasn't just funny, she felt real, strong, caring, sometimes overwhelmed, and that's why people connected with her. When the show ended, many expected her career to slow down, but it didn't. She kept working. Through the years, she appeared in different TV shows, new roles, new stories. She didn't disappear, she adapted. And behind the scenes, she explored more than just acting, helping others, growing in the industry. Years passed, the spotlight shifted, but she stayed relevant. Now, in 2026, she is still respected, still remembered, not just as Evie's mom, but as someone who never stopped moving forward. Number 3. Bert Reynolds as Troy. Bert Reynolds was already a legend long before this show, a Hollywood star, a leading man, a name everyone knew. And yet, in this sitcom, you rarely even saw his face. He was the voice of Troy, the alien father, speaking through a glowing cube, calm, mysterious, powerful. Even without being on screen, his presence was felt in every episode, and that made it special. At the time, it was a unique role for someone of his status, but it worked, because his voice alone carried weight. After the show, Bert continued his long career in film and television. He remained a respected name in Hollywood for decades, but like many legends, time caught up. In 2018, he passed away, and with him, an era quietly came to an end. Today, in 2026, fans still remember that voice, the father from another planet, guiding his daughter from light years away. And sometimes, a voice is all it takes to become unforgettable. Number 4. Joe Alasi as Beano. Joe Alasi brought something completely different to this show. Energy, chaos, and a kind of humor you couldn't ignore. As Beano, he wasn't just the funny uncle next door. He was loud, he was unpredictable, and somehow always in the middle of the madness, running a diet clinic while constantly surrounded by absurd situations. He added a layer of comedy that made the show feel alive. But what many people didn't realize, his talent went far beyond this role. After the show ended, Joe found his true calling, voice acting. And not just any voice acting. He became the voice behind some of the most iconic animated characters, including roles connected to legends like Looney Tunes, a completely different world, but one where he truly shined. But sadly, his journey didn't last forever. In 2016, he passed away. Today, in 2026, his legacy lives on, not just as Beano, but as a voice that millions have heard without even realizing it. Number 5. Doug Mccclure Kyle Applegate. Doug McClure was already a familiar face to many viewers, but in this show, he did something different. He made people laugh in a very unexpected way. As Kyle Applegate, he wasn't your typical mayor. He was proud, a little clueless, and completely lost in his own past fame. Always talking about his old TV glory, always trying to stay important, and somehow that made him hilarious. You never knew what he would say next. But behind the comedy, there was something real, a man trying to hold on to who he used to be. After the show ended, Doug continued acting for a few more years, but his journey was slowly coming to an end. In 1995, he passed away. And just like that, one of the show's most unique characters was gone. Today, in 2026, fans still remember him, not just as the mayor, but as someone who brought a different kind of humor, the kind that makes you laugh and think at the same time. Number 6, Buzz Belmondo, Buzz. Buzz Belmondo was unlike anyone else on the show. Every time he appeared, something strange followed. Costumes, props, endless jokes, sometimes funny, sometimes confusing, but always memorable. As Buzz, he didn't need long scenes. Even a short moment was enough to grab attention. He brought a chaotic energy that made the world of the show feel unpredictable. You never knew what he would do next. And that was the point. But when the show ended, something unusual happened. He didn't follow the typical path of fame. No major Hollywood career, no constant spotlight. Instead, he faded away from the mainstream. And for many fans, that mystery only grew over time. Today, in 2026, very little is widely known about his later life. And somehow, that makes his story even more interesting. Because sometimes, the people who make the most noise on screen choose the quietest lives off it. Number 7, Christina Negra, Lindsay. Christina played Lindsay, Evie's closest friend, the one person she could trust, the one who was always there. Through school, through crushes, through everyday problems, Lindsay felt normal, and that's exactly why she mattered. In a world full of secrets and powers, she kept things grounded. Their friendship felt real, simple, honest, something audiences could relate to. But after the show ended, her path changed. Christina didn't chase the spotlight like many others. She stepped away from acting and chose a quieter life. No constant roles, no Hollywood headlines, just distance from the industry. And over time, she slowly faded from public view. Today, in 2026, many fans still remember her as Lindsay, but her life now is far removed from television. And sometimes, walking away from fame is the choice people don't expect. Number 8, Steve Burton, Chris. Steve Burton played Chris, the charming boyfriend, the surfer guy, the athlete, the one who always stood by Evie. Their relationship wasn't perfect, but it felt real. Sometimes close, sometimes complicated, and that made it interesting. At the time, it seemed like just another teen role, but for Steve, it was only the beginning, because after the show ended, his career didn't slow down, it exploded. He moved into daytime television and found massive success, becoming a well-known face with a loyal fan base that followed him for years. Role after role, year after year. He didn't disappear, he built something bigger. Today, in 2026, he is still active, still recognized, and still remembered, not just for this show, but for a career that kept growing long after it ended. And sometimes, one small role is all it takes to start something much bigger.
Number 9. Carl Steven, Quigley. Carl Steven appeared as Quigley, one of Evie's classmates. A smaller role, but still part of that world. A familiar face in school scenes, part of Evie's everyday life. At the time, it looked like just the beginning for a young actor. A stepping stone, something that could lead to bigger opportunities. But life had other plans. After his early acting work, things became quiet. The roles stopped. The spotlight faded. And over time, he disappeared from Hollywood completely. Then, years later, his story took a tragic turn. In 2011, Carl Steven passed away. A life that started with promise ended far too soon. Today, in 2026, many fans may not remember his name right away, but he was part of something they loved. And sometimes, Even the smallest roles leave a lasting mark. Number 10. John Rourke. Phil. John Rourke played Phil, the curious handyman. Always around the house, always asking questions, and always just a little too close to discovering the truth. He brought tension in a light way, because every time he showed up, you felt it. Is this the moment he finds out? That small suspense made his role important, even in a comedy. But beyond this show, John had a different kind of career. He wasn't just an actor. He was also known for his voice, working in radio, commercials, and narration. A voice people heard even if they didn't see his face. His career continued in different forms over the years, until in 1999 he passed away. Today, in 2026, his work still lives on in recordings and memories, because sometimes a voice can travel further than a face ever could. Number 11. Tony Crane. Jeffrey Tony Crane joined the show later, but made an instant impact. Jeffrey was different, confident, charming, and impossible to ignore. He stepped into Evie's life at a complicated time, and suddenly, everything changed. Now there was a choice, a love triangle, a new kind of tension. His presence brought a fresh energy to the story, something more mature, more emotional. But just as quickly as he arrived, he was gone. After the show, Tony Crane didn't stay in the spotlight. No major Hollywood run, no major fame. Instead, he chose a different path. He moved away from acting and into music, a creative shift that many didn't expect. Today, in 2026, his acting role may feel like a brief moment in time, but it was enough to leave an impression. Because sometimes, you don't need years on screen to be remembered. Number 12. Peter Petofsky. Peter Petofsky brought something truly unique to the final season. As Peter, he wasn't just comic relief. He was strange, confused, clumsy, and completely unpredictable. A waiter who didn't quite understand the world around him. And that's what made him funny. Every scene felt slightly off in the best way. But there was more to his character, a hidden connection, a deeper layer tied to the same alien world, which made his presence even more interesting. But after the show ended, just like many others, he stepped away. No major acting career followed, no major fame. Instead, he chose a quieter life away from Hollywood. And over time, he faded from public view. Today, in 2026, not much is widely known, but fans still remember him, because even in a short time, he added something different. And sometimes, that's all it takes to stand out. From a girl who could stop time, to a cast that went in completely different directions, Out of This World gave us more than just comedy. It gave us memories and stories that didn't end when the show did.